Well, we're out here in the wood yard looking at some of the wood that we've got to get split up for next year. My brother-in-law over there, he's got the wood splitter that we share. I thought it would be a good time to make a video. I'm just going to hand split some of this wood with a maul. You know, sometimes there's a lot of people out there that don't have wood splitters. They don't have that convenience. I'm fortunate enough to have that. I split wood with a maul for years and years, and that's just the way it was. Just wanted to show you something real quick over here. If you look at this maul, I just kind of cleaned the mill scale off this so you could see there's two different angles to that. This right here, there's a transition right here from here to here, and then if we look closer, there's another angle right there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put an edge on this. We're going to sharpen it up a little bit better, and I'm just going to show you how to do that. It takes only a couple minutes. What we're trying to do is obviously we want this angle and that angle to meet right in the center, and we've got that pretty well where we need it, but we're just going to clean this up a little bit. What you want to do is you want to make even strokes. All the way that way, all the way that way. Don't do any of this stuff. A lot of guys that are beginners with grinders, that's what they do. Been using a grinder for a lot of years. I've been a welder for most of my life. And that's one of the tools of the trade. So all the way this way, all the way that way. Okay, we've got that cleaned up. Now we're going to hit this other edge, and we're going to make our cutting angle. Okay, that's all there is to it. Now we'll just flip it over, and we'll do the same thing on this side. Okay, there it is. Nice, sharp maul. Let's do some. All right, now we're going to sharpen this hatchet. Pretty straightforward. This comes down on this angle, and then it makes the cutting angle down here. Can't really see it that well because it's a little bit rusted. You can see this side a little bit better. So we're just going to hit this with the grinder real quick and put a new edge on there. Okay, there's a burr right here. You see that? We wanted to roll that over. Okay, that's how I know I'm done grinding. Okay, we've got that rolled over like that. You can see it on this other side. Okay, so I've got my file now, and we're just going to hit this with the file. I'm following that same angle. Okay, so I've got that burr rounded over onto the other edge now. Okay, I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. If you don't have a file, well, you're probably more apt to have a file than you would a grinder. But if you don't have a file, a lot of times you can find them for pretty cheap yard sales, secondhand stores, places like that. A lot of times an old boy dies and family's going through his stuff and his kids don't even know what files are for. People don't use tools like they used to anymore. And files that's a great tool to have. A lot of people will buy files and turn them into knives because it's good, hard, it's what they call tool steel. Okay, I broke that burr off, and now I'm just gonna kind of clean that up a little bit. And we'll flip it over one more time. Okay. Pretty happy with that. Okay, let's test her out. See how sharp we got it. Pretty sharp. Okay, so the first thing we're going to set ourselves up with is our splitting block. Ooh, that one's not going to work. We just take a round that's a little bit bigger than everything else, and then you just set your rounds that you're going to split on top of it. So we'll split a couple of these, and I'll show you something a little bit about technique. Okay, if you missed it, I posted a short about this, but it's something my dad taught me when I was a kid, and it works every time. So a lot of people, they don't know this. They will try to split their wood right here. They'll just hit right in the center of the round instead of what makes the most sense, and it's actually, when you think about it, it makes perfect sense. If you aim at the edge of the log, at the edge of the round, you're actually more apt to split it than you would be if you hit it here. The reason for that is because your force that you're exerting into the block of wood, it's hitting a much smaller area, and the impact isn't absorbed as much right here because it's allowed to go in all directions. And hopefully I can illustrate that for you. And every time that I aim, I look for the largest crack. So the first thing I do is I find a crack that, you know, either it's going all the way through it, or it's just a nice crack that comes out to the edge. And I just, even if it's not going all the way out to the edge, I draw an imaginary line out to the edge, and that's what I aim at. So my first strike is going to be right here. Okay, hopefully I can do this without hitting the camera. Okay, so I'm going to aim. I've got my crack. I'm going to follow it down to the edge, and I'm going to aim right there. I didn't even make a full swing there. I just kind of, I was worried about hitting the camera. So we'll go ahead and we'll split this. Okay. Same thing. I've got a crack here. I've got a crack here. This one's going to put me about in the center. So I'm going to go from here, and I'm going to follow this out. And then from there, when they're smaller like this, they're easier to split. And we'll just, we'll do a little bit more splitting out here before we go inside for the day and before my phone battery runs out. So enjoy.